Hi, it's Jay from Iridescent Tarot back with some more sparkle for you. So I would like to talk about some spring decks. I'm ready for winter to be over and I'm ready to welcome in the spring. So there are some decks, there's a few overlaps here with some of my March favorites, obviously because I'm working with some of my springy decks, but there's also quite a shew here that we haven't seen for a while on my channel, so this should be a lot of fun. Now, this is a deck that I worked with a lot last year, but she has not seen the light of day. This is Tarts Tarot. This is a deck that, I don't know how to describe her. She's a little bit feisty, but it's like a cool tempered feisty. She's got like a little bit of a sarcastic bite to her, but she's not like a huge slap in the face. And now that I know how to read Marseille, I feel like I'm gonna get even more out of this deck, but she's not one that I regularly pull out to read with. And I would like to remedy that. Yeah, see, as I'm flipping through, I'm just reminded of how much I love the colors and the imagery of this deck. I feel like this is the ultimate springtime palette. The backs are really beautiful. If you can't tell, like, this is the vibe, springtime vibe. One of the things that I love the most about this deck, though, is the cardstock. This is the most sumptuous, shuffleable, floppy shuffle that there is. I love it. And when I got my Dodal tarot that had similar cardstock, I was like, oh, there's no other decks that like have such nice cardstock in my opinion. It's just so fun to riffle. So I'm excited to get this deck back out into rotation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I missed it. I forgot how much I like this. I'm having very much excitement right now. Yum. This deck is the epitome of spring for me. Little Bird Tarot. I don't think that there's another deck that's like spring to me other than Little Bird. She's a fantastic reader. She is straight to the point. She has a fantastic guidebook that really just like expertly ties in the type of bird, the positioning, the like everything about the card, the botanical, into the tarot meaning and why these were chosen for each of the cards. And that's what I want to see when there's some sort of theming that we're tying back into the tarot. And Shanna did a fantastic job at doing that. And so I just feel like this is ultimate springtime deck for me. You could argue with these darker backs that it's fall, but in my mind, just with these birds, it's just springy. Now, the Pressed Flower Tarot has quickly risen as another contender for epitome of springtime. This deck is beautiful. I love pressed flowers. It's not a practice that I engage in myself, but I do love admiring other people's works. This card is a perfect example of, in my mind, what I envision when I think about this deck. And so there is this traditional French perfumery process called enfleurage, where they use lilacs and they kind of lay them onto some kind of fat, traditionally like a shea butter or a coconut oil, and they place the blooms one by one onto the fat and let the oil extract from the flower into the fat, and that's how they get lilac scent. And so when I think of springtime, I think of lilacs and I think of the enfleurage process, and I think of this deck. Even though we have more antiqued look with the background here, and we have the white, more stark white borders here, there's something about the pressed flower that gives it also an antiqued look. So I think they go well together, and I'm not really one for pairing tarot and tarot, but if there ever was a pair, this would be it. This would be my springtime double tarot pair. I did my March favorites. I did talk a little bit about using this Simple Abundance Daybook of Comfort and Joy and these decks. So if you want to hear more about that, then check out my favorites video. The perfume that I'm wearing today is Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab Lovers Among Lilacs, which is very apt for what I was just talking about. So the notes of this are soft, sweet bourbon, vanilla, and sensuous benzoin nestled in a haven of lilac blooms. And this is just a soft, gentle lilac that feels so springy to me. Like it feels like you just stepped out into the fresh air and a nice gentle breeze wafted over some lilac bloom scent to you, and it perfumes the air. And I love that they can just bottle that up. So it very much speaks to that enfleurage process. It looks like this kind of background. The Fantastic Menagerie Tarot is another spring deck for me. This deck has been hibernating over the winter, waiting for the light to break and for the spring season for me to pull it back out again. Like, look at these beautiful blooms. I don't know, there's something just bright and refreshing and feels like an awakening after a long slumber, a long hibernation. The animals in this deck feel like they've been waiting for me to revisit them after the cold winter. I love this card so much, the mosquito. It's such a funny deck. It has a spunky personality. It has a sense of humor. The guidebook has a French bent to it, which you know that I love. And I missed this deck. I really, yeah, it has its place, and that is in the springtime for me. I don't think it would hit for me the same if I were to read with it in the middle of winter. It's just a little too spacious, a little too bright in its coloring. Something about it that just says like spring, beginning of summer. Enjoy me when it's warm. I feel like the Tarot de Ozarks is a deck that I could use any time of year. It really feels like an all-rounder for seasonality, but I do think that the colors, there's something about it that feels a little bit light and like the beginning of spring to me. And there are definitely some more autumnal color palette cards, but like this reads as spring to me. Yeah, I just think it has like a lot of range when it comes to what season it could go in. Like this could easily be summer, and this could be winter. But I think that if I had to put it into a category, I would say that spring is maybe its best fit. But I have no qualms about using this all year round. Kai Tarot Love is a deck that I feel like has early spring just embedded into its personality somehow. Like it's got these bright colors, it's got florals, but it also has like this hint of darkness pretty much in every card. Like there's so much juxtaposition and just a lot of visual interest with the different mixed media, and just in general, if you take the work as a whole, it just feels like spring. It's got like the mud from the snow melting, but it also has like the beginning blooms that are coming. Yeah, this just very much reads to me as a springy deck. The Jaguar Kai Oracle. I have been using this oracle in conjunction with the tarot. They go hand in hand. They have such a distinct art style that I don't really feel the need to pair them with anything else. And I think they complement each other really well in a reading. So I just pull one of each, and like this, doesn't this just scream spring to you? It's like a terrarium with blooms inside. And this spring. You can feel it. It feels like the awakening out of the cocoon, spring, the awakening out. Yeah. For remaining oracle decks here, we have the Envoli Sauvage. This is a French deck where the top right up is in French and the bottom is in English, which is very helpful and has a variety of horizontal and vertical cards. This is a very colorful spring deck and is so fun to look at. There are like little areas of spot gloss, and I just love the color palette. The messages are very You know, the message is the dance of the vulture. Enter in the joyful and luminous dance of transformations. The outdated, what is no longer useful, disappears. This death allows for future life. From the ashes, light is reborn, and by this light, the sacred wheel of creation continues its work. Even the dark cards are, you know, have like a lighter lightness to them. And I think it pairs really nicely with, surprisingly, with Little Bird Tarot, because we've got these birds that are very much, you know, antique illustrations, and then you have this fresh light watercolor that kind of brings them up into the air. And I said before in one of my videos that they kind of set the birds free, and I stand by that. I think that this deck really lightens the, not that this is heavy, but it just like frees them up. Kind of an unexpected pairing that I enjoy very much. Like, look at this, you've got the Tower, and then almost the sense of like being reborn from the light, a new dawn, a new day. The Eternal Quest. The Heart Aligned Affirmations Oracle is very springy in color to me, which is why I never really understood this deck, this box being black, because it feels very heavy compared to what I see when I look at these cards. These are just affirmations, and I find that they provide a really nice wrap up to the end of my readings. There's actually surprisingly a good balance in this deck. They're not all love and light. They have this like meatiness to them, and they're not all as well. Like, not all of them are all as well. I let go of the need to be perfect in the eyes of others is a very different message than all as well. So I just really like this deck, and I think that the color palette is pretty springy, and ooh, I gotta see this. One of the things that I like most about making videos on TarotTube is this, like, I don't know, ability to play with my decks and not do readings with them, and just get to show them and talk about them and kind of think through my thoughts and feelings about decks and why I like them, why I keep them. And sometimes we can kind of get caught up in the cycle of like always looking at the new shiny deck and like thinking about what other decks we're going to bring in. And this channel really allows me to also take the time to appreciate the decks that I do have, that I love, that I've built relationships with, and just get to kind of pour my appreciation and love out and show them. It just kind of gives a unique opportunity to do that, and I'm very appreciative of having my channel, of everyone who watches, and yeah, thank you so much for being a part of that. The final deck here is the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. And this also has a springy palette, but it also has like that muddiness that I was talking about with Kai Tarot Love and Jaguar Kai, where it's like, yes, we have some brighter springy colors, but we also have like the depths of winter, like fading away color palette too. This is a deck that I also could have easily put into my idealized self video. I don't know if that will be posted by the time that this goes up or whatnot, but I feel like my idealized self really, really wants to understand astrology, but like actual me can just never retain the information. And so I bought this deck with the hopes that it would help solidify some of the knowledge about, you know, these astrological elements in my brain. And I haven't worked with it all that much, but the good thing about this deck is it also has divinatory bent to it, and so I can use it even though like I'm not studying astrology right now in this very moment. It's still workable and usable, and so I really should pull this out more. And again, I think this is a deck that would pair really nicely with some of the decks with the tarot that I have pulled out for this video. So let's just take a look. Yeah, these look cool together too. What are they, all the green cards at once? Cool. I feel like both of these would go well with this. Wow, I think that these two go really, really well together. Yeah, I think these two go well together. These two go well together. There's some nice crossovers happening here. I heard on another Tarot Tubers channel that maybe the creator of this deck is working on a tarot deck. I haven't confirmed. I also haven't looked that hard yet, but I haven't confirmed to see if that's true. But if it is true, I would really be excited about that because I think this artwork is so, so beautiful. And this is another deck that is a mass market that feels like an indie. It just has that quality to it. And yeah, it would be exciting to see this artist's rendition of tarot. So those were 10 decks for spring. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Signing out.